Let me start with a question. Are you the owner, or are you actually the most expensive employee in your business? Most founders I meet don't own a business, they own a job. They're the first one in, the last one out, solving everyone else's problems and holding the whole thing together with sheer willpower and caffeine. Your phone never stops, your team can't seem to make a decision without you, you're constantly firefighting, chasing jobs, fixing mistakes, answering the same questions every day. And here's the kicker. While you're busy keeping the lights on, no one is actually leading the business forward. I'm Phil, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to escape the daily grind and become the strategic leader your business actually needs, so that you can take control of your time, build a team that takes ownership, and focus your attention, energy and focus on the right things that create growth and profitability. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap on the shifts that you must make if you want to stop being the bottleneck and start being the leader. Let's quickly talk about how you got here, because none of this happened by accident. When you started, everything depended on you. You knew the customers, you knew the product or service, you did the quoting and delivery, the invoices and the follow-ups. And in those early days, that's normal. But what I see all the time is this. The habits that you made successful at the start become the very habits that trap you later on. 3 big traps that I see founders fall into. Number 1, the control trap. It's quicker if I just do it myself. No one does it as well as I do. Now these sound harmless, but they keep you stuck doing low value work instead of leading. Trap number 2 is the superhero trap. You save the day constantly. The team brings you every problem and you solve it. It feels good, but it trains your team to be dependent on you and it burns you out. And the third one is the busy equals productive trap. Your calendar is full, you're exhausted, so it must mean you're moving forward, right? Not necessarily. There's a huge difference between being busy and being effective. To escape the daily grind, you've got to break these patterns and deliberately step into a new identity, the strategic leader. Now, I want to walk you through 5 key shifts I coach my clients through when we move them from stuck in the day-to-day to strategic leader. Shift number 1, the doer of everything to designer of the business. Strategic leaders don't just work in the business, they design how it runs. That means mapping out your core processes, defining clear standards, and building systems so that the work can be done consistently without you hovering. Your attention needs to move from how do I get this job done to how do we build a system so that this job gets done the right way every time by the team. Shift number 2, from owner of every problem to coach of problem solvers. So instead of taking every problem on your shoulders, you need to coach your team to solve problems themselves. That might sound like, what do you think the options are? What would you do if I wasn't here? What's the actual root cause of this? So these are questions that you need to be continually asking. Your focus shifts from answering questions to asking better questions. And remember this, always answer a question with a question. No exceptions. Shift number 3 is from calendar full of tasks to calendar blocked for strategy. If I looked at your calendar right now, would it tell me whether you're a leader or a technician? Strategic leaders protect time every week for planning, reviewing numbers, working on systems, and developing the team. This is about using your energy where it has the most leverage, not just where the loudest problem is screaming. Now, shift number 4, from gut feel only to data-driven decisions. You probably built the business initially on instinct and experience, and that's valuable. But to scale, you need data. Key numbers on sales, margins, cash flow, productivity metrics, customer satisfaction, and rework rates. A strategic leader uses both gut and data and makes decisions based on reality, not just noise. And remember this, without knowing the numbers, you're not going to be making the right decisions. Shift number 5, from being at the center to building a leadership spine. Your goal isn't to be at the center of everything. Your goal is to build a strong leadership spine in the business. Clear roles, clear responsibilities, team leaders who manage people and performance, and regular structured communication rhythms. So the business can run and grow without you needing to micromanage every step. Now, let me bring this to life with a few real-world examples from clients I've coached. I've changed names and details for privacy, but the patterns are very real. Our first example is the overwhelmed founder with no time to think. One of my clients, let's call him Mark, runs a growing service business. When we first met, he was working 70 plus hours a week. Every quote, every customer issue, every staff question went through him. He hadn't taken a proper break in years. The first thing we did was audit where his time and energy were going. We literally mapped out a week and highlighted tasks only that he could do as the owner, tasks that should be done by someone else, and tasks that shouldn't be done at all. What we found was around 60 to 70% of his week was low-value operator work that could either be delegated, systematized, or deleted. So we applied the shifts, doer to designer. We documented his top 10 recurring tasks and turned them into simple checklists and procedures. We trained his team leader to run those processes. 2 was owner of problems to coach. We introduced a rule: before anyone came to him with a problem, they had to bring 2 possible solutions. If they hadn't thought about it, he'd send them back to do that first. Within 3 months, his weekly hours dropped by around 15 to 20. The team started solving issues without him, and he finally had space to think strategically about the next 12 to 24 months, not just the next 24 hours. Our second example is the founder who lived in the inbox and missed growth opportunities. Another client, Sarah, led a B2B company. She was constantly on emails all day, every day. Back-to-back meetings, jumping into operations whenever something slipped. She told me, "Phil, I know I should be working on partnerships, bigger clients, and new markets, but I just never get to it." So we attacked this from 3 angles: attention, focus, and energy. Attention that actually matters. we got crystal clear on her top 3 strategic priorities for the next 90 days. Anything that didn't support those went to the bottom of the queue or off her plate entirely. The second thing was focus. What gets scheduled gets done. We blocked out 2 90-minute strategy blocks every week in her calendar. These were non-negotiable. No meetings, no emails, no interruptions. And then number 3 was energy. Protect the fuel, not just the engine. We looked at when she had her highest energy in the day and moved the most important strategic work into that window, not late at night when she was exhausted. Within a quarter, she'd opened up 1 new major partnership. Her average day was more controlled and less reactive, and the team felt clearer on what they were responsible for because we'd clarified roles, responsibilities, and expectations. That's strategic leadership in action, not just working harder, but directing your best energy into the highest value work. Our third example was building a leadership spine so that the business can run without you. The third client, Jason, had grown from 5 to about 40 team members. The business was doing well on paper, but inside it was chaos. No formal leadership structure. Everyone reported straight to him. He was dragged into every operational decision, big or small. So we focused on Shift 5, building a leadership spine. And here's what we did. The first thing was clarified the structure. We defined key leadership roles, operations, sales, and finance admin. Each leader had a clear set of responsibilities and metrics. The second thing was introduced leadership rhythms. So weekly leadership meetings with a tight agenda. Numbers, wins, issues, and actions. And monthly, we started one-to-one meetings with each leader to coach them, not rescue them. The third thing was we aligned everyone to a clear plan. We built a simple 12-month plan with quarterly targets. Every team knew what we're aiming for, what success looks like, and how their role contributed. Over the next 6 to 12 months, Jason was able to step back from daily operational decisions. The leadership team took ownership and results, and the business became far less dependent on one person's availability and stamina. That's the shift from I run everything to we run the business together with me leading the direction. So if you're watching this and thinking, that's me, I'm stuck in the grind, I'm always on, I don't have time to actually lead, then here's the good news. You don't need to burn everything down and start again. We just need to start making deliberate shifts. Let's recap the 5 critical moves. Number 1, from doer to designer of your business. Shift 2 is from owner of every problem to coach of problem solvers. Shift 3, from a calendar full of tasks to a calendar blocked for strategy. Shift 4 is from gut feel to data-driven decisions. And Shift 5, from being at the center of everything to building a leadership spine. Your attention, focus, and energy are your most valuable assets as a business owner. When you aim them at doing the right things, systems, people, strategy, numbers, the business starts to grow beyond you. If you'd like help making these shifts in your own business, that's exactly what I do every day as a coach and mentor. If this message has hit home to you and you're ready to stop living in the daily grind and actually step into the role of a strategic leader, click the link, book a time with me, and let's sit down together. We'll look at where your time and energy are going right now, identify the biggest bottlenecks, and map out a plan to move you from overworked operator to confident strategic leader. Your business needs a leader, not another exhausted employee. Let's take or make that shift together. Thanks for watching. This is Badura, turning business dreams into reality.